All right, this is Dave Johnson here with North Shore Eats. And right now, we're not in a restaurant and we're not in a coffee shop, but we're at a coffee roasters place, and it's Flamjeaux Coffee Company, right? And we're in Mandeville, Louisiana. And so, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I am Margot Brignac, and I am the owner and coffee roaster of Flamjeaux Coffee Roasters, small batch coffee here in Old Mandeville.
So you might be wondering, why are we even doing this if it's not a restaurant or not a coffee shop? Well, the thing is this is, like I just learned, that it's, so you hear local all the time, and sometimes the coffee or the food might not be exactly local. So this, you can't get any more local than this for coffee. And so we want not only the residents in the North Shore to know about the coffee because it's uber local, like it's really local, but we also want more restaurants to know that they have another option for coffee that is actually really local, and she imports the beans, right? Mm-hmm. And then like I don't really know the process, she's gonna tell us, and then she does everything to them here, and then you send it off to the local places that, and she has, I'm going to post a list of the restaurants and coffee shops that actually carry her beans or her coffee, and then that way you'll know. And then if it's not on this list, you should ask them why they're not carrying this coffee. Right? Yes. So do you want to tell us a little bit about coffee beans, or like, I don't know what,
Oh, I'm happy to. Coffee doesn't roast itself. Somebody has to do it, and the difference between me and say another local company is I do small batch coffee roasting. So my batches are done 5 pounds at a time. I'm looking to move that up sometime later this year, and I roast manually, so I don't have any automation in my roasting process.
So we're going to move this so we can see the machine she uses.
So this is a 2K coffee roaster that was actually manufactured in Turkey, and then electronics are added to it when it gets over to the States. So it's electronic in the sense that I have a thermometer on it, and I have thermocouples that measure heat and things like that, and actually run the motors and the shaft and everything. But it's powered by propane and gas to actually apply the heat to the coffee.
So when you order it, it doesn't come with the electronics, but it still works, right?
Well, what I mean is that this beauty, this beautiful part is actually manufactured and put together in Turkey, and then it's imported into the United States, and once it gets through the manufacturer, in Florida, he applies he installs all the electronics in the machine. So when I say manual, what I mean is there's no computer automation. It's kind of like being a chef. It's like you have to adjust everything through airflow and application of heat. So once you learn how to kind of manipulate the heat and the airflow, you can customize or you can replicate roasts that you do every day. And there are a lot of factors that actually play into that, like temperature inside, temperature outside, humidity, things like that. The amount that I'm actually roasting. So it's a 2K roaster, which is actually about 5 pounds, but I can do as little as 1 or as much as 5, and anywhere in between. But that smaller dose in the roaster is going to really have me making some changes on my end. I don't, can't just press a button and tell it.
So you made some really good points, and I was actually getting ready to ask is, so you can customize each batch to be whatever the customer wants, or if you want to experiment and come up with a different flavor. Is that right?
I can, but what I do, and to get back to your original question, is I actually source beans. I work with a broker in New Orleans, Westfelt Brothers. They've been around since like 1865 or something, and I source beans with them. So they have certain beans from all over the world, and I look at them, and he sends me samples, and I cut them, I taste them. That's a coffee term for tasting, and then I decide which ones are going to be good for what I know my customer base to be. And in the coffee industry, what's trending.
Right.
So I do that, and what I do is I prefer to do single origins, which means only one country, no blending, because I like to showcase the country so that customers can know what's actually in the coffee that they're drinking. So that if they do encounter a blend that they like a lot, and they know that bean is in it, then they'll know they like it. So it's more of an education as well for them.
So a little bit on the blending, and I learned this yesterday, is a lot of companies, when they blend, they're using maybe a small part of a good bean, but then the rest of the blend is maybe not the highest quality bean. It's kind of like a filler bean. Is that a good way to put it?
Well, that's done in mass production.
Right, yeah.
There are coffee roasters out there that blend specialty coffee that complement flavors. So they'll look for flavor profiles that complement
Are they
each
more
other.
of the small type roasters like you?
Right,
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Small batch roasters,
Oh, small batch.
micro roasters, however you want to call them. But on the mass level, there is a lot of that playing with beans where you might have what's called a Robusta bean,
Okay.
which is a low-grown bean, but it has more caffeine, not as much flavor. But I use all Arabica beans, which are all high-grown in altitude, and the high-grown beans have more flavor. They're a much higher quality bean.
So if you like a lot of caffeine, so I really don't know a whole lot about coffee. I just know when I walk in, I want a medium roast with a shot of espresso. That's the way I order my coffee because I like a lot of caffeine, and I was told that medium roast is more caffeine. So, but when you're getting say I went somewhere that had your coffee, is there a certain way I would want to order it, or not necessarily?
It's the same.
Okay.
So if you can just remember the little adage, the lighter the bean, the more caffeine. And the reason is because this is green coffee. This is what coffee looks like before it's roasted. You can get that in there.
Yep.
And it's dense with water. It's heavy. And what happens is when you roast coffee, you're roasting the water out of it. So
Can you
you're
bite
losing-
this?
You can. I know people who eat it, but I don't know that it's
Very hard.
yeah.
It's not ready.
It's not, no.
Sorry.
This one's actually from Mexico. But anyway, when you roast the beans, you're roasting the water out of it. And the caffeine content is directly proportionate to the water content. So as you're roasting the water out, you're roasting the caffeine out as well.
Oh.
So the darker you go on a roast, the more caffeine you are roasting out of it, and the more weight the coffee is actually losing. So here's a fun fact.
Okay.
So when you go into the grocery store and you're normally going to buy a bag of coffee, it's going to say 12 ounces on it.
Right.
And it's always referred to as a pound. And that's literally a coffee pound. So coffee, because it starts out like this, it's heavier and it's more dense, but it doesn't end up like this. So on an average, it loses about 4 ounces.
So when you get a pound, it's a pound in its raw state.
In its finished state. So it starts in its raw state as a pound, 16 ounces.
Okay.
But it doesn't finish as 16 ounces. So what you're paying for is you're paying for raw weight, but in
That's
the
what I
net,
meant. Yeah. You're paying for a full pound, which was raw weight.
Right.
But the finished weight is more around 12 ounces.
Right. Correct.
Okay. So,
I know that might answer some.
No, that makes sense to me.
It could be a mystery to some.
So, how long does it take? All right, hold on. You said the lighter, the more caffeine. Now, when you roast, is there a certain darkness you go to, or do you, depending on
Well, that's a good question. The bean is going to dictate how I can roast it. So depending on where the bean was roasted, the climate, high, low altitude, how it was processed, is all going to determine how I can roast that coffee. Not all coffee can be roasted at the same level. So that's another thing I take into consideration when I'm selecting beans is, okay, I already have one that I know my customers like at a medium dark roast level.
Right.
I need one that's a medium because I have a lot of customers that like medium. So which ones? And then I kind of like to do a little duality with them so that I'm not buying a bunch of different beans to do different things so that I have some crossover as well. But that's a really good question.
Okay. So what I'm actually going to go on this list, and I'm going to go to some of these places so I can try out. I really do. I want to, because I want to see what the taste difference is compared to what I'm used to getting. to what it is from this type of
Well,
operation.
the thing about fresh roasted coffee is that it's fresh. I mean,
Right.
once you, and I have a lot of customers who tell me, you spoil me. I can never drink regular coffee again because it's fresh.
That's
But literally,
dangerous.
I know. Literally, I mean, it goes nowhere from here to your hands or to
Right.
my customer's hands. There's no middle ground. And
Right.
the freshness, I mean, typically there won't be more than about 10 days on the roast. And
Wow.
optimal would be to consume it within 30 days to get the best, result from the cup.
So you roast it, and then you still have to grind it, right?
Right.
And
right.
do you grind it, or does the coffee shop or others grind it?
Well, if I'm selling to a coffee shop, they will have a grinder.
Okay.
But I do have a grinder, and it's probably my second most valuable piece of
Okay,
equipment.
all right.
This behind the roaster.
Okay.
And that's another thing. There's so much to talk about with coffee. We could sit here for 2 hours and talk
Okay.
about coffee. But your grinder, the grind really determines, flavor
Okay.
in coffee.
Oh.
I always tell my customers when they ask me, Mario, my coffee pot, it's on the fritz. It's no good anymore. I need a new one. What should I do? And I'll say, no, what you need to do is find a fire grinder. Or I'll
Okay.
ask them, do you have a grinder? If they say no, I say, okay, let's talk about that. And I always recommend to buy a Pro grinder.
Right.
And then I said, let's try that first before you buy a new coffee pot. And then I'll have so many customers that say, oh my God, I can't believe how different it tastes.
Yeah.
Because it's different grind methods for your brew method. So depending on how you're brewing the coffee, you need to grind
good
it a
point.
certain way because the flavor of coffee is determined by how long water stays in contact with the coffee beans. So you need to create surface area.
Are you kind of, this might sound silly or stupid, are you kind of rehydrating when you mix it with water, sort of, kind of, or
Well,
not?
I never really
Or-
thought about it like that, but yeah, I mean you are.
Okay.
But you also need to make sure that if you're brewing in a coffee pot and you have we call it the gravity method of brew,
Right.
right? 'Cause it's
Yep.
going straight through. And your grinds are 2 quarts, the water's just going to go right through. It's not
Right.
going to pick up any flavor,
Yep.
and that's where the acid in coffee comes from as well, especially if it's a hot brew. So that's another topic, but if you make that grind a little bit finer, you're gonna cause the water to stay with the beans the grinds a little bit longer,
Yep.
so that it extracts more flavor from the
Yeah.
coffee.
Okay.
So that matters. A lot of times, if you make a small adjustment on your grind, it's gonna make your cup taste a lot better. It really makes a difference.
I've never thought of all that.
Grind is a huge determiner in coffee flavor.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I do grind, when
Uh-huh.
customers ask me to grind their coffee, I always ask first, how do you prepare it? How are you preparing it at home? Well, they'll say, oh, I'm going to do that as a French press. Okay, that needs to be forced because that's the steep method of brew.
Right.
Meaning the coffee is going to stay with water for a long
Right.
time. French press, same thing.
Mhm.
Cold brew, same thing.
Okay.
So it does matter.
Okay. All right, so I'd like to come back again sometime, and then we can talk about grinds. This could be like an ongoing thing.
Yeah, it could be a
really
series.
could. But,
Yeah.
So,
We can talk about coffee growing regions. We can talk about processing methods. We can talk about brew methods. We can talk about all kinds of
Wow.
things. Yeah.
yeah, I never even, most people I don't think about the coffee a whole lot. They just go in, they get a cup, and they run on.
And that's
You know.
that's the reason I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I have a background in coffee. I've managed a coffee shop. I worked at a coffee shop, and I wanted to convey to my customers what was in that medium roast
Right.
that you're going to get with that espresso shot, which, by the way, that's called a shot in the dark. Well, that's just a shot in the medium.
Right.
And I was a barista. I've
Right.
done all of it.
Right.
And I just was kind of frustrated that people didn't care about the coffee so much. And there was so much that goes into coffee. And so that's when I decided I wanted to learn how to roast so that I could learn as much as I could know to tell people about it.
Right.
So the whole premise here is that this is an interactive coffee lab. That's what I call it.
Uh-huh.
And I share my workspace with people. So when I'm here roasting coffee, if you happen to be walking down the street and you come in, I'm gonna show you around.
Right.
And if I'm roasting, you'll see how that's done. I'll offer you a cup of coffee. I'll offer you a taste. and we'll talk about coffee. And I'll know if you're interested.
Right.
You're going to stay or you're going to go.
Right.
And if you stay, you're the one that I did this for.
Right.
And it's very
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in it because I know the coffee I get, to me, it's more a social, and I want the caffeine. And what I don't like is I don't find much flavor.
Right.
And
Yep.
so I'm very disappointed in that. But I'm like, I don't know what else to do.
I think it's the freshness factor.
Yeah.
Freshness factor really is big.
Right.
It needs to be, if it's fresh, the difference is fresh. It's one of my taglines.
Right.
Is the difference is fresh, and it's true.
Right.
I mean, once you try it, it's hard. You can drink other coffee, but you'll notice the difference.
I know the cup of coffee I bought this morning. I'm not going to say where I got it. It was actually a place I'd never been before. I had a business meeting there, and I think I paid $6 for it, and it had less flavor than where I usually go.
And I hope it wasn't in the stock from the cup.
It was in a cup that wasn't glass.
Okay. Well, that's good. It means it was ceramic, which is good.
No, it wasn't glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
I don't know what the material was.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is the vessel that you use to serve the coffee in.
That's a good point.
If you're going to do a traveling method, then you want paper. Paper's best. Not
Well,
plastic,
one place I go has paper.
but not styrofoam.
And this, I think, it wasn't really paper, and it wasn't like a white styrofoam. But I think it was a styrofoam type too.
Well, that's never good, especially for hot coffee. It just doesn't. It does matter. As a matter of fact, at the market, I have these little ceramic demi-tasse cups that I serve my samples in. And the reason I do that is so that people can taste the flavor of the coffee better. I mean, it just doesn't taste the same. I do have some paper cups just in case, but I do that so and it just tastes better. I mean, I'm putting hot coffee in a ceramic cup. You can smell the aroma, you can taste the coffee, and I think people just like those little cups. They always say, "This is so cute." And it's okay. Well, that's not the point, but okay.
It's still something.
But I mean, it makes a difference. All those things make a difference. I mean, we drink coffee. People who drink coffee, there are a lot that don't.
Right.
And those who do, I mean, you do it every day. You need to enjoy it.
Right.
And don't make it, boring.
I actually quit drinking coffee for about 7 or 8 years because I quit smoking, and I associated smoking with drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So when I quit smoking, I quit drinking coffee. But now the last couple of years, now I drink
Well,
coffee.
congratulations on that.
Yeah, I know. I feel a lot better. So look, I know you have somewhere to go, and I have somewhere to go. So I'm going to cut this off now, but I really do want to come back. And
Yeah.
check
Well,
out
once
some
you
more
come
stuff
back,
and talk about some more stuff.
talk about some more stuff. We'll roast some coffee.
So look, if the restaurant you're going to doesn't carry this coffee, you should ask them to. All right. And so anyway, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Really, this is really cool,
My pleasure.
and it was something different. Okay, y'all have a good day, and I'm actually going to go to Bookin' the Bean, which is where I hooked up with her. Is through. I'm sorry, I can't think of her name, Carrie. And so we're going to go there and do an interview, and probably be drinking some coffee.
Yes.
So, all right, peace out, everybody.